In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create an alternate surface from an OpenRoads corridor, how to display that surface in a cross-section, and how to annotate the elevations of that alternate surface in the cross-section. So you can see here that I have a corridor in my DGN file, and let's go ahead and take a look at the template that I have dropped in that corridor. And you can see here in the template drop that I've chosen just a very simple concrete driveway for my template. And what I want to do is create a surface that will correspond to the bottom of this concrete pad. So you can see, if we zoom in a little, that I have 3 points here that define the bottom of this concrete pad. So what I'll need to do is go in and edit each of these 3 points and add an alternate surface name to each one of these. So to do that, I'll just double click on the point to bring up the point properties dialog, and you can see here that there's a field for alternate surface. There's nothing in the pull down right now, so I'll just need to go ahead and key in a name. So we'll call this concrete bottom and click apply. And now we'll want to go down and change it for this next point, so I'll just hit the target button, select the next point. Now that I've typed something in, you can see it's available in the list for me to pick. Click apply, and then we'll go ahead and do the next point, select it, apply, and close. I'll select OK. The corridor will reprocess. You won't be able to see any difference in that, but the new template was dropped along the corridor. I can close out of corridor objects now, and now I'm ready to create my new terrain model that will be the alternate surface, the bottom of that concrete slab. To do that, I'll go in Civil Tools task menu under Terrain Model, and I'm going to select this icon here, which is Create Corridor Alternate Surfaces. So I'll select that. I'll locate the corridor, the command processes, and you can see Project Explorer Update. And I now have a terrain model, which is the concrete bottom. So it's named Highway 1, which is the name of my corridor. It's prepended by the name of the corridor, so it's Highway 1 Concrete Bottom. So I just want to reiterate that in order for something to be displayed in the cross section, it must be displayed in the default 3D view. So we just want to ensure that we do have that terrain model that we just created, the concrete bottom, displayed over here. So let's zoom in. We know it's going to be below this top surface, so I'm just going to select right here, and I'm going to right click to move through the selections of everything that is located here. And there you see we finally got that highlighted. It is underneath, but it's the terrain model Highway 1 concrete bottom. So we know it's in there. We know that it should display in the cross section. So I'm going to select the Create Cross Section tool. I'm prompted to locate my alignment, so I'll zoom in, make sure I get right on my alignment there. I'm going to leave everything here as the default with the exception of the name. I'm going to call that Baseline Cross Section. I'll click Apply. And you can see my cross sections get created over here in View 3. Let's zoom in closely on one of these. And you can see here that I have the existing surface up here. Here's the pavement component, my end conditions, and then right here you can see we have that cross-section surface line that represents that alternate surface that we created. Now what we want to do is annotate the elevations of this surface. And remember, we had 3 points that define this surface. There was one here, here, and here. So those are the points that will get annotated when we go in and annotate that elevation. So we're going to go in and select Annotate Cross-Section. We want to make sure that you have the correct cross-section model selected. You want to make sure here that whichever surface you intend to annotate is selected in this list. And now we'll go in and set up exactly what it is that we want to annotate. So under points, I do want to include the points that are along the surface. So I'm going to include a leader and the elevation. I'm not interested in having any features or segments, so I'll toggle both those off. So we just want the points. I'll click Apply. So you can see here that we have a few issues here with the size of the text and the offset. So I'm going to go ahead and click Undo. So let's first change the drawing scale by going into Settings, Drawing Scale, and let's just bring that in at full size for now. And then let's check the symbology of our elevation. So I'm going to click on the symbology. All of this looks fine. We want the justification left top, no rotation, no offsets. So I'll click OK and click Apply again. So let's zoom in and take a look at it. You can see things look a whole lot better here. It's the size that we anticipated it should be. It would be nice to make a few changes here with this annotation. So let's go in and do that. And again, this is just a kind of trial and error. It's not unusual to have to do several iterations of this to get your annotation looking exactly like you like it. So I'm going to click Undo again. And let's go back into our points. Let's change that leader length to 2. And let's change a little bit about the elevation here. I'm going to just make a new color for that. And I'm going to change the justification to right top. And this time I am going to offset that by 2. I'll click OK. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and change the color here of the leader so that it shows up. Click OK. And now I'll click Apply. And now you can see that the annotation comes in nicely. It's corresponding to these points along our alternate surface. And again, you can annotate any surfaces that are displayed. You just need to make sure that you have the surface that you intend to annotate selected here in the general section.